Casper. Nice to see
Yay!
you again.
Good to see you too, brother.
It's a pleasure for speaking to you about your another project of yours, Guns of Redemption.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, man. It's not been too long though. It's not been too long. Was it just last year, right? Did we talk or was it the year before? I don't know.
I feel like we talk like every 3 months, but you
It
know
does
what?
feel like that.
You have so many projects under your belt. But tell us what drew you to Guns of Redemption this time around.
Well, Westerns are my favorite favorite genre to watch all time. My favorite films are Westerns, Searchers, Cowboys, Unforgiven, Silverado, Tombstone, all these movies, I love Westerns. And this one reminded me of the classic old time Westerns. I love the redemption quality in it. I loved the writing. I thought it was incredible. I love that I got to ride the horse. I loved working with Sean Astin and Jeff Fahey and the entire cast crew. It was just all of it was magic for me, Gig. I can't tell you. I thought this was such a fun movie to make.
Do you do a lot of westerns yourself, or is it comes like once in a blue moon to you?
I've done a couple westerns. I know how to ride a horse, so I'm pretty good on a horse. I used to own horses, so I really know how to ride a horse. And not like some of the people that are real cowboys, but I did own my own horse and I did break it off the track and did ride it for 3 years. I mean, every day. So I am a horse guy, but I wish I could do more westerns, and I wish they came more. And the next one I direct, I hope someday would be a western. That's what I would love to do. I would love to direct a western. So.
Now, what kind of preparation do you personally do when it comes to something? Because you battled aliens, you battled alligators, but in this case, you're going around with a rifle or a six shooter. Are there special preparations when you're using different weapons for yourself?
Well, I think always you have to go and go with the armor and go over the weapons, what you have and what they're going to use and what's in the script. I grew up with guns. I grew up in a military family. I went to an all-guy military school. I had the key to the armory. I had access to the key to the armory. I mean, I've shot guns my whole life. I shot them for different movies and stuff like that. But you do go with the armor, and you do go through. You have to go through, and I think it's always gun safety first and preparation and just knowing what you're going to do. So we were able to fire some live rounds on this, which is rare. I mean, they're blanks, but nowadays we're getting to do less of that because of accidents that have happened and stuff like that, and I understand that. But I have a great respect for guns, and I think that you have to have you have to be prepared around them. There should be a lot of protocols and not everybody should handle them. So that's just my personal opinion. But I do work on trying to be as safe as I can with them and then also as proficient as possible.
Now, you always love working with familiar faces. It could be because of the fact of the longevity of this business, but you got to work with Brian again in this case, and I want to say the last time you worked with him, you were a villain, but now you're the good guy.
Yes, I get to be the good guy who was on the wrong side of the war, who's now trying to make redemption for himself, and then he's trying to find peace with his own internal struggle, and then he has to go on revenge, and then he also trying to still be a good person, and then he gets shot, and then he gets going. Oh yeah, such a great character, so much depth to him. I love working with Brian Skiba, so talented. I've also worked with Jamie Thompson, who's the producer, but on different projects. Then I've also done several projects with Jeff Fahey and only one other thing with Sean Astin. But I was grateful for all the people I have worked with before and definitely working with Brian Skiba again. He's such a talented director.
Now, in this case for Guns of Redemption, can you tell us about getting into the mental capacity of Luke? Because he has like this internal struggle for himself.
Yeah, I think it's relatable to me because life on life's terms, being a man who's been divorced and been sober now for 30 years, the struggles that I've had to go with to try to deal with things that I'm not proud of that I've done in my past and things that I'm trying to be better at. I think we always I think when we're younger, we're full of testosterone and we can make mistakes, and that's why they get young men in the military to do things. And then later in life, we try to think about the accountability we want to have for our actions and try to do better. So this guy had a lot of struggle to go through, and I really appreciated that, and I could relate to the struggle, not necessarily what his choices were, because I didn't fight in the Civil War, and I didn't fight on the wrong side of the Civil War. My family actually was from the North, so I definitely would have related more to the Northerners in that one. But in this one, I had to have his struggle of what he's gone through and the choices he made. It was a lot, and I absolutely loved it, and I felt like I could really bring that forward in the character, and I hope it comes across as much as it felt like it was for me. But it felt real, and I really loved this movie. This is the kind of like the way it was written, the way while we were filming, I just went, this is just like the Westerns I love to watch over and over again, because I watch Westerns all the time and I rewatch
Mhm.
them all the time. They're my favorite film. I'm not kidding. My wife's like, "Oh my God, you're watching a Western. You've already seen that one." And I get that all the time, but I love them. So this one would be in that category. I've done other Westerns. They haven't made that category for me. This one has, I think. I don't know. I have to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
You'll certainly most enjoy it, and especially the fact that I'm so jealous of you, especially the fact that you have so many projects under your belt. You get to travel all over the place, and in this case, you get to be transported into, I want to say, like Brian told me, I think he rebuilt a Western town out in the Midwest for this production.
No, it's actually it's in Kentucky. And so we did rebuild the West, and we also, uh, yeah, he rebuilt the town, and we filmed on, which is also exciting about this, is that we filmed where they did the battle for the bridge, where the Confederate Army was fighting against the Northerners, and they outgunned the Northerners and were able to chase them away for a little bit before they lost it, but they won it at first and then later lost the war. But it's interesting. That was a real battlefield, and one of the Confederate they had Confederate and Union soldiers, the reenactors come in, and one of them gave me a bullet from back then, from an actual one that he dug up from there. I gave it to my nephew, who's a big Confederate, a big Union Confederate, well, Civil War, excuse me, Civil War buff and historian kind of kid. He really loves reading about that. And I gave it to him, so it was a cool story. But it was a lot of fun to film that and be riding the horses out there where all these people lost their lives and battled. It was really intense.
Does when you're on location, like in specific locales like that, compared to like a studio or a green screen, that does that help with your acting?
I think so. I think definitely. As an actor, you're gonna find whatever works for you at that moment. But when you're on something that's the real deal in the real place, and where lives were lost, and you can feel like a responsibility, and also you can just feel the energy that's there. It's just different, and it's pretty powerful.
Well said. And what's up next for you? I bet you have another 150 projects in the works.
Well, I have one that I had an NDA that I can't talk about. I have one that I'm just filming right now called Dope Unit, where I worked with Erica Peebles, and I know Jeff Fahey's in that one as well. And I also know that Kristana Loken is in it, and the director, Nat, is really awesome. I only know I could talk about that one because he posted a picture up on Instagram, so it's his fault. So, so I already had that up there. So I'm working on that. I'm going up there to work on it next week, and I'm going to do a con right after that up in Washington, and then flying back here. And I got a couple other things I got going on too. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Also, we'll get to talk some more, gig, which I love talking to you. I was so excited to see your name on the list. So it was awesome.
It is pretty awesome. I feel like I'm going to talk to you again in a couple months. And the most ironic thing is, after I hang up with you, I'm talking to the director who directed your daughter for a short film that's premiering at South by Southwest right after this. So
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, she loves Westerns too. She watched, I got her to watch I used to do a 5-minute rule. I'd make them watch my movie. Well, you make them watch movies, not my movies. Make them watch other movies, westerns. And I started. She's like, I don't want to watch one of your westerns, Dad. And then I said 5 minutes. So she started watching. She goes, Dad, can you put it on pause? I'm going to go get my glasses. And she became a huge fan of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. She loves Paul Newman. She loves Robert Redford too, but she loves Paul Newman, and she became a fan of westerns because of that. So there you go.
Well, there you go. One of these days. So
One of these
I'll
days.
I'll talk to you again, Casper, and
Gig, definitely,
let's say
gig.
in two, 3 months.
All right, 2, 3 months. Good to see you, gig.
See
You
you
take
again.
care.